What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video we are going to be doing a tier list of every single commentator in the UFC. That's right, we've got every single person that has done commentary for the UFC in recent memory. Of course, I'm not going to be going with the randoms that they had doing it in the 90s because I don't care. And then I'm going to include a few other people that they haven't really done commentary, but they've done sort of desk jobs or like ESPN jobs and stuff. So yeah, they'll be included too. But we've got 17 people total. There's going to be 4 in each of the other 4 tiers and then 1 at the top for the best commentator in the UFC. But let's get started. And Joe Rogan is the first commentator we have here. Pretty fitting, honestly. You know, he's one of the more notable commentators in UFC history, and I'm going to put him in the annoying tier because Joe Rogan is fucking annoying, let's be honest. I get he's iconic, so a lot of people are going to be like, oh no, Rogan's the best commentator. He gives us in-depth analysis on how calf kicks have changed the game. I'm like, sorry bro, I've heard that spiel fucking 20 times in the last year. Every single time Joe Rogan does a fucking commentary, he has to mention it at least 4 times a card. Calf kicks have changed the game, man. Those are really brutal. Like, that leg is beat up bad. So it's like, thank you, Rogan. I can see that he's been kicked in the leg about 12 times. You don't need to remind me. Every time you get... And that's another vicious calf kick there. He's struggling to stand on that lead leg. Like, Rogan, shut the fuck up. That steel cup, man, that provides a fulcrum for armbars. Like, shut the fuck up, Rogan. How many times have people actually, like... When the fuck was the last time there was even an armbar? Like, seriously, when was the last time Rogan commentated and there was an armbar submission? I actually don't think there's been one in, like, quite a while. Like, let me know in the comments if you can be fucked to do the research. I can't be. But if you can be bothered, find when the last time there was an armbar submission on a UFC pay-per-view in America. That is my request I have for you guys. Because Rogan keeps mentioning these steel cups as fulcrums for armbars, but there's never fucking been a time where someone's actually been armbarred with a steel cup. Like, I get it, you're rolling around with some fucking obese 50-year-olds in jiu-jitsu that have steel cups, and so you can't armbar them, or they can't, like, they can armbar you better or some shit. Like, I don't care, Rogan, fuck off. And then also, what else? It's calf kicks, it's steel cups, and then, what's the other one? Fucking... Oh, what's the other thing he always mentions? I don't know. I forgot the Rogan spiel, you know. But he mentions the same fucking 3 things every time. I forgot what the other one was. Let me know in the comments, because I've gone blank here. But yeah, Rogan, he's a very annoying commentator. He just screams as loudly as possible, like, unbelievable! Like, he just goes as wide-eyed and screams as loud as possible to make his reaction seem as crazy. And then so, obviously, everyone just thinks, oh yeah, we need Rogan on the commentary, man. He's iconic. Like, just because he's been there for ages doesn't mean you got to keep him around. I would like to see them try out a few different people for... Like, I get it. It doesn't, like, negatively affect it too much, but it just gets annoying. And don't make him comfortable. Say, like, oi, Rogan, if you want to actually do the commentary, then you got to fucking do a good job. Otherwise, we're just going to give it to someone else. Like, we don't need you on commentary. UFC does fine. The viewership is the exact same if you're there or if someone else is there. It's the exact same. So if you want to actually stick with your commentary job, do a fucking better job. But yeah, Rogan's annoying as shit. And he'll be commentating 300 next weekend. So I cannot wait for him to mention calf kicks about 17 times during the Pereira fight. It's going to be a terrible time. Well, let's move on to the next commentator. Felder, I'm going to put him in great. I think he's one of the better commentators on the UFC payroll, I guess you could say. He's a great commentator. He rarely is... He's biased occasionally because he's from Philly. He does, like, when Dorcas won, he started full chanting, like, Dorcas or Philly or some shit. He did, like, the, like, P-H-I-L, like, he did the, like, that was a bit kind of interesting. And when his teammates, because he does have teammates, obviously, that is the concern when you get guys that actually, like, fighters to do commentary. Like, it's great because they have good analysis to provide, but sometimes they will have biases and stuff, or they'll get annoyed at someone, or you can tell they're supporting someone, which is never good for commentary. Like when Bisping's just like, let's go Max, even though he didn't even fucking train with him, but you can tell when the commentators are like rooting for someone, it just gets a bit annoying. But Felder's pretty good for the most part, you know. He remains professional, he gives good analysis, He doesn't be retarded and say dumb shit all the time. So yeah, I think Felder is a great commentator. I enjoy listening to him talk on the broadcast. And yeah, he did, he's been doing a few more bigger pay-per-views now. Like, he did, 280 with, I think he did 280. He did both the Abu Dhabi pay-per-views recently. So yeah, I'd like to see Felder get in there a bit more. And I wouldn't mind them just trying one of these guys like Felder out for one of the big America pay-per-views. Like, just tell Rogan to fuck off, or tell DC to fuck off just for one card, and get Felder in. Do, like, Felder, Anik, and, like, someone else. That'd be cool. But yeah, let's move on to the next commentator. The next commentator that we have is DC, and I'm going to put him in good or solid. So DC, man, look, again, he does have those biases. When there's wrestling, when there's guys that wrestle and stuff, he'll be like, that's a beautiful takedown, man. And then he won't shut up about it. Like, he's good for the wrestling analysis. Like, when guys are shooting for a double and then they transfer to a head-on outside, like high crotch single and shit like that, DC's great for that. He can explain what they're doing. He can tell you all of that stuff. But, I just remembered Rogan, he's always just spazzing out about jiu-jitsu. That's the other thing. He'll just talk about, you don't want to be in that guard, man. That guard is nasty. That's Rogan. That's the other thing I forgot about. But back to DC. He is very good for the wrestling analysis, which is good. But sometimes he'll be a little bit biased. Sometimes he'll, like, try and be too, like, takey, if you know what I mean. Like, he'll dump out takes on the broadcast and stuff and, like, just declare shit, and it's kind of gets a bit annoying. But I think for the most part he's solid. Sometimes he can be a bit annoying, but I think DC is decent for the most part. He'll joke around and stuff. Sometimes he'll get distracted. Him and Rogan will, like, be going off on some tangent, and then Anik will just be like, Toyo Tires brought you, like, and he just got to bring him back in. But yeah, DC, look, he's alright. I'm not going to say he's a terrible commentator. I never, like, get infuriated listening to him, but sometimes he does have his moments. Let's move on, though, to the next commentator, John Gooden. So this guy is pretty solid. He does I'm putting him in solid category accordingly. He does a lot of the pay-per-views, or not for pay-per-views, the fight nights in Europe. He's done a couple pay-per-views, I think, in, like, England or in Europe and stuff. But yeah, he was on the broadcast for the for the Paris fight night. He does a lot of the Europe, like the London cards and stuff. He's done a few Apex cards too. He's solid. He never really provides any analysis. He's a decent play-by-play guy. Obviously not as good as Anik. He sometimes sounds a little bit clueless, but yeah, he's a solid play-by-play guy. He's never going to be, like, annoying because he's never trying to be too, because he's never the biggest guy on the desk, and I kind of like that. That's the thing that I do like with some of these other guys, not like Rogan and DC or Bisping. I like Bisping, but like Rogan and DC, they're the biggest guy on the desk, so they always try and have their voice heard loudest, but Gooden will do a good job of letting everyone talk. He'll just be the guy to just tell you what's going on. Yeah, that's a nice jab there. He's managing range here well, like this kind of stuff. 2 minutes to go in the round. I think he needs to push for a finish. Like, he'll give you the basic shit, but he won't try and be too, like, forceful and pushy with his takes and be all like, I need to be heard, listen to me, like Dominick Cruz and Rogan and these kind of guys. So he's solid. Let's move on, though, to another guy. Dean Thomas. Now, I know he's not a commentator, but he is kind of part of the broadcast. And they'll always go like, the coach, Dean Thomas, what do you have, Dean? And then he'll just be like, so what's going on here is he's putting out that jab and he's managing distance. Like, he just says the most common sense shit. He'll come in for like 15 seconds, say something that is just didn't need to be said, and then he'll just dip out. And that's his job. And this guy's probably getting paid thousands, like hundreds of thousands a year from ESPN to just like the coach, Dean Thomas. And he was, so what do you reckon about this? And he'll be like, you know, he's doing a good job. He's doing kind of shit, to be honest. Like, the guy will be like losing 10-8, just getting beaten up. And he needs to get up, man. He needs to really try and work his way back to the feet. Like, thanks, Dean. You're fucking not gonna put that word there. But yeah, okay, let's move on. The next commentator that we have is Laura Sanko. She's gonna go in solid, and I know a lot of people aren't gonna like Laura Sanko, and they're gonna say she's a woman, and I get it. So you're never gonna... her peak is solid, to be honest. Like, in terms of her analysis, it's great. But in terms of just the overall broadcast experience, it gets brought down a bit. You know, the screechy voice, Sean Strickland! Like, sometimes, like, it's just not quite the same thing. When, like, Anik will be like, and that is not the cloth from which is cut. And then there will just be Laura Sanko, Sean Strickland! Like, okay, come on, love, just settle down, like, just lower the voice a little bit. But no, her actual analysis is good. She knows about fighting. She's done, like, jiu-jitsu. She's done fights before, and she's a good commentator, and she clearly wants to be there. She is actually putting effort in. So I know everyone's going to call this dumb and say I'm trying to be, like, a hardcore fan, or say I'm trying to be different, but objectively, if you just look at it in terms of what you're actually getting from them, Sanko is a better commentator than Rogan. I'm just going to say it. Like, Rogan will just cycle the same shit. He'll just try and be overly like, I watched the sport back in 1997, so I have more rights to talk about it than you. Like, or he'll just, like, you don't want to be in there in that guard, man. Like, he'll be like, we get it, bro. You're 49, you're 70 years of age. Like, you're over the 49. He's like, you're 40 years of age. So that's your fucking age. Like, Rogan, you just don't need to remind us every 2 seconds. Like, this reminds me of this fight in Pride back in, like, we don't care, man. Just, like, stop trying to be fucking overly, like, hardcore. You're a casual. Like, at this point in your career, Joe Rogan, you're a casual. But Laura Sanko actually wants to be there. She actually pays attention. She knows the fighters. Imagine you chuck Rogan on a fucking Apex card. He'll just be like, so Cesar Almeida fighting this weekend, like, he won't know shit. He'll bring up he'll look at their record, and then he'll say, so this guy went toe-to-toe with Alex Pereira in kickboxing. It's like, he's 1-2. Yeah, sure. Like, he'll just look at, you can kind of tell, Rogan's like that guy that'll look at the results without actually seeing the fights, and then that's where he gets his takes from. Like, that's the Rogan vibe I get. But Sanko wants to be there. Sanko actually pays attention to shit and knows the fighters, so she's good. And she does the Contender Series cards too, so she actually knows these fighters. And I'll be honest, I don't know half the fucking Contender Series fighters, so she actually is good for a lot of the people watching the Apex cards that don't know the Contender Series fighters. She gives you good background on them and that. So yeah, Sanko's actually solid. Let's move on though to another commentator. The next commentator we have here is Brandon Moreno. Yeah, never give him a mic ever again. That stint on the UFC No Che card back in September was quite literally the most painful thing I've ever listened to. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I promise you, man, I think he might throw a jab, man. Like, shut the fuck up, Moreno. Who invited this guy on the desk? They probably saw him in the crowd. They're like, yo, Moreno, come here, you can talk and speak some fucking sola man, yo no de lo potes, like, fucking, loco, fucking mastamento, like, what the fuck are you talking about? He's like, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but I promise you, man, he shoot a takedown, man. Like, shut up. So fucking annoying to listen to. If they ever do this guy on commentary again, I'm gonna fucking turn the volume off. I'm just gonna listen to it on mute. Let's move on though to another commentator. Brenan Fitzgerald is gonna go in great. Now, a lot of people might disagree with this, and I'm not here to say he's just like an elite commentator, but I'm looking at it overall. Does he give you crazy moments? Does he give you like elite calls? Is he John Anik? No, of course not. Is he gonna give you like the retardedness of Rogan and Cruz? No. So in my opinion, when you're balancing it out, he doesn't give you any like elite commentary, but he doesn't give you any bad commentary. He's just there, again, similar to Gooden. He lets the other guys talk because he knows he's not the biggest name on the desk. He's a good play-by-play guy. He does a lot of the Apex cards. He knows the fighters. And yeah, I do think Brenan Fitzgerald is actually one of the better commentators. Look, if I'm doing this, if I'm like saying dream UFC 300 commentator lineup, am I saying do Fitzgerald? No. But there's a difference between having guys for the biggest cards and then just having commentators that are actually good. There's a reason why I don't hate that Rogan does just the America pay-per-views, because we only have to listen to him like 10 times a year. But if I'm going to have to listen to someone 25 times a year, I'd rather it be Fitzgerald than Rogan, because I don't imagine Rogan was doing all the Apex cards and we're hearing this guy waffle about calf kicks for every weekend. Like, it would just be so shit. So yeah, Fitzgerald does a good job. He talks well on the mic. He's got a good voice for it. And yeah, I think he's pretty solid. Let's move on though to another commentator. The next commentator we have is Mike Goldberg. That's his name. I'm 95% sure. Look, maybe I should have put him a bit higher. I wouldn't hate it if you did. I'm going to chuck him in annoying though. Like, he had a good voice for it. He was that classic guy. But before Rogan, he was Rogan. Like, Rogan was the Anik. And then Goldberg was the Rogan. Like, Goldberg was the casual that just screams and makes loud noises. Like, Rogan was considered the technical breakdown analysis guy back in the day, from what I understand. Like, Goldberg, he clearly was not, like, overly knowledgeable about sports. Sometimes he would just have some absolutely shit takes. But for the most part, he was iconic back in the day. The Diaz submission, like, he does have good calls, and that's the thing. Like, Anik is both a great analysis and, like, good calls on the mic. With his, like, he just has, like, great calls on the mic in terms of his voice for it. He gets you hype at them big moments, but his analysis was kind of shit half the time. So yeah, I'm going to chuck him in annoying. I don't hate it if you want to put him up, but I'm looking in terms of technical commentary. So yeah, let's move on though to another guy. Chael Sonnen, he's annoying. We love Uncle Chael. He's undefeated, undisputed, but whenever they pan to this guy on the ESPN broadcast desk, like, obviously he never does actual commentary for the UFC, thank God, but whenever they'll pass, like, to the desk or they'll go afterwards, he'll be talking, so, this is, he's not that hype, he's like, so, what does this mean, like, hypothetically, like, I don't know, man, his voice just pisses me off. I can't do a Chael accent or a Chael voice, but you know what I mean. Whenever they pan to this guy, and he'll be so, like, he'll sound like he's fucking just done coke, like, he's just so, like, bro, tone the volume down, like, just chill. He's fucking, he is very annoying. Like, I just can't listen to Chael's videos and shit anymore, because it's just, he's too, like, you know what I mean. There's the word, and I don't know what the word is, but you know what I mean. He's too, like, yeah, Chael, he gets pretty annoying. Let's move on, though, to another commentator. Dan Hardy is going in great, and solely for the purpose and solely for the reason that he got fired because he was criticizing a referee. It's the ultimate way to go out. Dan Hardy, great stuff. Look, I actually didn't watch a heap of his stuff. Like, I don't know when he got fired. I think, like, when that fight was. It was a while ago, so I was not, like, a super hardcore fan back then. I'll be completely honest. I'm all about transparency. I was not watching every single Apex card back then. So I did not hear a lot of Dan Hardy's live commentary. But from what I know, he was pretty good. He loves the sport. He would always, like, have things to say. He would always talk about, like, things. He would have his analysis. He would have his background knowledge. And yeah, he was passionate, and he would do a good job for the most part. And yeah, I think he was a great commentator. Let me know if you disagree, but I'm going to put him there because I wanted to make it even. So maybe I could have just put him solid, but I didn't want to put too many people in solid. So let's move on to the next commentator. The next commentator we have is Bisping. That's fucking gay. Let's go, Max. Like, okay, so back in the day, Bisping was shit. Like, Bisping was fucking terrible. I would have put him in never give him a mic tier because some of his takes were fucking awful. He would be like, you know, Rob's down 4-1 here. He needs to go for a finish. Or, I've got Izzy winning every round. It's close, but, you know, I think Rob, you know, he needs to get some output going. Like, he would just make the worst fucking takes. He would, like, blatantly, like, root for fighters and, like, support fighters and, like, be openly, like, wanting them to win. But now he's gotten better. Now he's funnier. Now he's less just annoying to listen to. Like, sometimes he'll have his little incoherent fucking rambles and stuff. Like, he was talking to, like, Laura Sanko. It's like, I'll kick you in the head, buddy. Like, listen here, mate. Oh, fuck, where's your world title? Like, he can't go a broadcast without mentioning that he's a former champion. Like, yes, we know you fluked a KO against Luke Rockhold. Good job. And then you defended against literally a fucking senior citizen. So, yeah. Bisping, he's solid. I do like him, but I'm putting him in great, not because he's got the best technical commentary, and he is getting better at that, but just because it's funny, it's good vibes. He gives you a good laugh when he's on the desk. I used to hate Bisping on commentary, but now it's just kind of jokes, and I enjoy it. So let's move on to another guy. Megan O'Leary is going to go in solid. Again, not a full commentator, but she does a good job of, like, she's at the walkouts. I think that's her thing. She does the little pre-fight, like before they walk out, she will talk about the fight and stuff. She does a good job, and also it's a nice face to look at, you know, for the broadcast. Don't want to be looking at fucking Dominick Cruz's fucking ugly noggin. Like, she provides some good moments on there. She's alright, she's fun. I don't know why she's fun. Like, she's just solid, I guess. She's never, like, terrible. She's never annoying or, like, actively bad. But, yeah. I don't know, whatever, I just thought I'd include her. Let's move on to another person. Dominick Cruz is going and never give them a mic. Now, look, maybe I'm over-exaggerating, but personally, Dominick Cruz pisses me off. Like, maybe you guys like him. Maybe you guys agree that Conor was trying to gas Khabib out. He's had some fucking awful takes. Look, he does do some good analysis at times, but he'll go so, like, he loves the sound of his voice so much. And I think a lot of people do. That's fair enough. But when you're on a broadcast, you kind of just got to tone it back. Let other people talk. He always needs to butt in with something. He always needs to be the last voice heard. And he's just getting annoying. Like, he'll take sides. He'll criticize people. He'll just, like, openly criticize people. He can't go one fucking single broadcast without mentioning Keith Peterson. Anytime there's a stoppage, good job by the referee there to let him get back into the fight. Or to give him an opportunity to, like, we know you lost to fucking Cejudo and you disagree with the stoppage. We know. But you don't need to mention it every fucking broadcast. Like, Keith Peterson. And that's why, man, Keith Peterson, you know, is doing a terrible job as a referee. Like, he just needs, it's not all about you, Cruz. Just settle down, mate. Let some other people talk about the fights. You don't need to fucking bring up your own shit every 2 seconds. So personally, I fucking hate Cruz on commentary, but that's just my opinion. Let's move on, though, to another commentator. Or another person, I should say. Now, I'm cheating here, because he's not a commentator, but Henry Cejudo, never let this man have a mic. If they ever allow this man to be anywhere near a commentary desk or a broadcast, I will quite literally turn off the television. Please do not allow this man to be on a broadcast. Guys, listen, guys. I think he's going to throw a jab, guys. This guy would arguably be worse than Rogan. Rogan's just... imagine him and Rogan on the same broadcast. Lord have mercy. That would be fucking terrible. God forbid. But Cejudo, do not let this guy have a mic. Guys. Fuck, shut up, you midget. And then he would also imagine him and Cruz. Imagine Cruz, Cejudo, and Rogan as a commentary desk. It'd be fucking atrocious. But yeah, this guy would arguably worse than Rogan. He just wouldn't be able to go 2 seconds. Like, I'm a former champion, guys. Triple C, guys. Like, he'll just start randomly bringing up his own credentials in the middle of the broadcast. Or like, if someone was fighting, he'd just be like, this guy's beatable, guys. Like, bro, he just won his fight. You don't need to fucking criticize him. It's like, I could beat this guy. Like, he's not that good. Like, bro, chill. But yeah, I just thought I'd include him because he kind of fits the description of the tier. He's not a commentator, but I'm saying do not let this guy be a commentator. Let's move on though to another person. What the fuck is this? Get this off my telly now. The fuck am I looking at? Bal Muhammad, get this fucking fool out of here. Never let this fucking dumb bitch commentate a fucking event ever. Yeah, bum. Yeah, Bal Muhammad, just don't ever let this man near a desk ever. Just look at him. Just look at that picture and tell me this guy should not be on a broadcast. Dana, please, just give me my shot. Like, he'll be commentating Steve Erceg, and he'll be like, this guy made his debut after my last win, and he's getting a title shot before me. Dana, please, just give me my shot. Like, you know, you ain't getting a title shot, little bro. Yeah, I don't know, Bilal, I just wanted to include him. It would be funny. Just don't let this man near a mic ever. You know, explosive calls would be going off, you know. He's going to be dropping bombs on the commentary desk, so it's a risky situation. But let's move on to the best commentator. Jon Anik is, of course, the best commentator in the business. Tonight, these people are currently engaged in a custody battle. The winner will receive custody over their 2-month-old son tonight. Anik provides the best of it. He provides funny moments. He'll say some fucking out-of-pocket shit, which is always funny. He'll have the best calls. He's always calling the big finishes for the title fights. He's always capping off the best moments. He's got the analysis too. He doesn't go off on incoherent rambles. He doesn't take sides. He doesn't spread all this bullshit. He's a constant professional. Jon Anik, best in the business. 100%. Can't be argued. He's the gold standard. Unlike fucking Herb Dean as the referee, Jon Anik actually is the gold standard, and I hope he sticks around. And he's an iconic voice, you know, like, he's always there for he's Dateline, Las Vegas, like, he's always just there for everything. He's the opening voice to the broadcast. He's the iconic voice on the broadcast now, so hopefully he doesn't go. And yeah, that is the list, guys. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments who your favourite commentators are. Let me know if you disagree with my picks. I'm sure there's a few people that are going to disagree with some of my takes, but they're takes for a reason. They're opinions for a reason. Everyone can have different ones, but yours are wrong. So yeah, see you guys in the next one. We're going to have probably no video tomorrow, but I'll have predictions and stuff coming soon, post-fight recap, all that. Predictions for 300, I meant they'll be coming out ASAP, and I'll do individual predictions for each of the other big fights on 300. So peace out, guys. See ya.